A visit to the Great Pyramids can't really be fulfilled until you actually go inside. For the ancient Egyptians, religion influenced many aspects of their lives. One belief was that the pharaoh or king needed a lavish burial place for his eternal rest. And the proper burial ground was important because Egyptians believed in a life after death, known as the afterlife. And it was thought that the spirits of the dead would live on, and in order to do so happily, they needed a burial place which involved all of their belongings. And so pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs, which were large enough to store all the belongings necessary for the afterlife. And so as I ventured inside, it was hot, not ventilated, dark and dusty. The passageways were quite narrow, and crouching down, gingerly navigating the steep ramp taking you into the bowels of the ancient tomb, I couldn't help but again appreciate what the early archaeologists must have felt when they first entered these tombs. And after descending one shaft and climbing up another, I was there in the middle of the pyramid with millions of tons of stone blocks hanging over me. And as I saw an empty chamber, I was immediately reminded of another empty tomb 2,000 years ago, where outside Jerusalem Jesus Christ was laid to rest. There were no treasures or artifacts alongside his body, neither were there any complicated passageways leading to the tomb. But we are told that 2 guards were placed outside his tomb for fear that someone would take the body of Christ away, or maybe there was also the fear that something miraculous would happen. Well, indeed, something miraculous did happen. And Christ conquered sin and death and rose forth from the tomb on the 3rd day. I'm not sure exactly what the ancient Egyptians had in mind for an afterlife, but I'm sure what the Bible tells us in Revelation 21 when it says that I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there were no longer any sea. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. And they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the older things are passed away." And he who was seated on the throne said, "I am making everything new." Now that's an afterlife worth living for.